A very good morning, students. Today we are going to dissect the posterior compartment of the arm. In the last video, what we saw was the front of the arm. This is just for your orientation, I'm telling that this is the biceps muscle. And after just reflecting the biceps, its long head which is coming from the shoulder capsule deep to the intracapsular. This is the short head of the biceps, and this muscle here is the coracobrachialis muscle here. Okay, now if we just push this coracobrachialis and short head, then what we see here, it is the axilla here, and in this axilla what we see that this was the axillary artery, then this was the ulnar nerve here, and here we have seen also this was the posterior cord of the brachial plexus, which is continuous as the radial nerve. Here we have already seen that this was the axillary nerve here. So this is the radial nerve which will be going on to the back of the arm. I have just cleaned here the latissimus dorsi muscle, and this muscle just deep to the latissimus dorsi, it is the teres major muscle. This is the subscapularis muscle here. Okay, so after this orientation where I wanted to show you that this is the the radial nerve, okay, the continuation of the posterior cord of brachial plexus. This was the axillary artery, and this is giving the first branch as a brachial artery. See, this is at the lower border of the teres major. It is the beginning of the brachial artery, and first artery which comes out from this brachial artery is that of the profunda brachii. So you can see here that the axillary nerve and profunda brachii, they are going posteriorly here between the two heads of the triceps. This is the long head of the triceps, which takes origin from the infraglenoid tubercle, and this is the lateral head of the triceps. So between the long head of the triceps and lateral head of the triceps, these two structure, that is the radial artery and profunda brachii artery, radial nerve and profunda brachii artery, they are disappearing, and they will go to the posterior compartment. So I am turning this limb onto the posterior compartment. Now you can see here that this is the posterior aspect of the scapula that I will show you here like that. This is sitting here like that. The posterior aspect of the scapula is here, and this is the infraspinatus, because this is the spine of the scapula. This spine of the scapula is here, acromion process is here, and deep to it, it is the infraspinatus. Now this is the long head of the triceps, which we have seen taking origin from that of the infraglenoid tuberosity or tubercle. Infraglenoid tubercle, which is taking origin, this is the long head of the biceps. And then this was the triceps, not biceps. This was the lateral head of the biceps. If I put this humerus along with the scapula, this will be like this. This I had shown you in the last video also. This is that of the lateral head of the triceps. So in the posterior compartment, we will get the three head of the tricep. This is the long head of the tricep. This is the lateral head of the triceps. These two muscles, they will fuse and will form a common tendon here, and then this will go along with that is the third head, that is called as the medial head. You can see the part of the medial head, and the medial head will take origin below this spiral groove, okay, through which the nerve and vessels, that is the radial nerve and the profunda brachii artery, will come here. All this area gives origin to that of the medial head of the triceps, which is hidden behind the lateral and the long head of the triceps. Some of the fibers you can see here, okay, these fibers which are coming here, and these fibers, okay, they are the fibers of the medial head of the triceps. Then the common tendon of triceps, which is a strong tendon, will come and will get attached here onto the upper part of the olecranon process of the ulna. This is the elbow behind, that means back side of the elbow, and I can feel here the olecranon process. So this strong tendon will go and get attached here to the olecranon process of the elbow. Now what I am going to do, that I will cut this triceps, will show you the origin of the medial head, and then will reflect it upwards and downward so as to trace this radial nerve and the profunda brachii artery. But at this point you can see that since it is the posterior compartment of the arm, here I have dissected the ulnar nerve, and this ulnar nerve comes here after piercing the medial intermuscular septum almost in the middle of the arm, and then it lies here posterior to that of the medial epicondyle. This is the medial epicondyle of the humerus, like that. This is that medial, and it goes like this posterior to the medial epicondyle of the humerus. This nerve that is called as the ulnar nerve is here. You can see here lying just in this groove posterior to the medial epicondyle of the humerus. Okay, when I will come back after a few minutes, I will show you the deep dissection of this posterior compartment. Okay, welcome back, students. What I did in this is that I gave a cut to that of the long and the lateral head of the tricep so as to expose the groove, and the groove in which this radial nerve and this profunda brachii artery, which was taking origin here. Let me show you again. See, this I give a cut here and then in the tricep, and then trace this nerve, that is the radial nerve here, okay, and the profunda brachii artery. This were just exposed. This is from anterior aspect where they are going between the long head and that of the lateral head of the triceps muscle here. And then when you just turn it, this limb here, I have given a cut here into the tricep, okay. This is the long head of the tricep from infraglenoid tubercle, and then this will be the lateral head from the posterior aspect of the humerus from this ridge, okay. This is here, that this ridge, this is from here, it is taking from the posterior aspect. This is the lateral head. I just gave a cut here, and just you can see this, the long head is gone here. This is the artery, that is the profunda brachii artery is here. See this, and this is the radial nerve. See, this artery is going here, and then above this spiral groove, I have just traced this nerve in the complete spiral groove. This is the lateral head, and this here down below, now you can see this. This is the spiral groove, and below the spiral groove you can see here, this is the medial head of triceps, and this is above the spiral groove, this is the lateral head of the triceps. This is called medial because it lies medial to that of the spiral groove, okay, on medial and below the spiral groove. So these are the, muscles on either side of the spiral groove through which this radial nerve is going. It will give the various branches. This is the artery which is here to begin with. This was the artery, okay. This was the artery here, and this has given a branch here, okay. You can see the artery now and vessels, they are running together here into the spiral groove. Then you will see that this radial nerve will pierce that of the lateral intermuscular septum. Here was the lateral intermuscular, and will come on to the anterior aspect of the arm. This is the brachioradialis. This is that of the medial head of the triceps, and this was the lateral intermuscular septum, to which after piercing it has come between the brachioradialis, and this muscle is our brachialis muscle. So in the groove between the brachioradialis and that of the brachialis muscle, this is that nerve going here. See, this radial nerve is going, and then it will run and will come in front of and will lie in the cubital fossa here. See this radial nerve coming into the cubital fossa. See this? This is the brachioradialis and this is the brachialis. Okay, so where it is lying here. Now this profunda femoral artery, I mean say not femoral, profunda brachii artery will give divide it into two near the lateral intermuscular septum. One will go posteriorly, that is the posterior division, and another will go to the anterior, and they will form an anastomosis around the elbow joint. Okay. Now what remains here is to dissect is that Anconeus here. So I will try to dissect the Anconeus, and when I will come back after few minutes, I will show you just Anconeus. Thank you very much. Welcome back, students. Now I just dissected the Anconeus here. This is the posterior aspect of the lateral epicondyle where I am just putting here. You can see here this is that aspect of the lateral epicondyle here of the humerus, from where the Anconeus will start and it will go in this direction towards the ulna. See this? This is the ulna. This is the acromion process of the ulna, and the border is starting from Anconian process here going backward, I mean say downward onto this border, this Anconeus, which is having an tendinous origin, but will then soon will spread up this muscle. See, these fibers are going like that, and then it will get attached here. This is the muscle which is supplied by the radial nerve, which is given in the radial groove, okay, or spiral groove, and then which descend down and supply to this muscle. This is a feeble or a weak extensor muscle of the elbow joint. Now this completes the dissection of the posterior compartment of the arm. Okay, and now the next video I will make, which will be on the shoulder joint. Thank you very much for watching this video on the posterior compartment.